Well, I did have on the Zombie Tactics channel sort of a standing internal guideline that I didn't want to do back-to-back reviews. So being that I just did a knife review, I wasn't about to do another one. But this particular knife got so much interest in the private messages and some of the comments in the channel that I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit more about it because it's something of a mystery knife. If you look around, this particular model, the Kershaw Beacon, is not on Kershaw's catalog online, nor can you find it most places listed. You try looking for the Kershaw Beacon and it's, like I said, a mystery. So what's the deal with this? I've heard it implied that it might be a cheap Chinese knockoff, that it may not be a genuine Kershaw item. It may be a fake, the same way that some kinds of fake purses and other items come from from Asian manufacturers. So I decided to look into it a little bit further. But let's go ahead and take a look at the knife a little closer to begin with. It is sold as the Kershaw Beacon. There's the Kershaw logo. And it is made out of a decent steel. It is noted to be, what does that say? 8CR 13 MOV steel. And it is model 2430 ST. And it does have the Kai logo on there. That implies that it's actually a Kershaw make. I like the fact that it is a somewhat dull steel here. I don't like steels that are flashy or shiny. As I've said in a previous video, I think that knives are meant to be stealthy. Is this a decent steel? Well, I've done a little research on this 8CR 13 MOV steel, and people seem to think in the knife forums that it's a pretty good steel if it's heat treated well, and that it may be as good in some cases as AUS 8 and as good as AUS 6 in some cases, depending upon the heat treat. Being that this is a Chinese-made item, I'm going to guess that it's somewhere in between and call it a pretty good knife steel. It is typical of Kershaw. It comes out of the box shaving sharp, razor sharp. That kind of speaks that maybe it really is a Kershaw knife. It's a similar design to a Gerber Paraframe in that the actual frame of the knife is also the liner in a sense, and it's a liner lock knife. You'll see here how that operates. It does have a nice detente that doesn't want to come open very easily. It takes a firm thumb press to get that knife to open, and it's firmly under manual control. It's not an assisted flipper or anything like that, but you can, with the knife out, it'll flip out fairly easily and does a decent job there. Decent drop point design. The blade steel seems thick enough that it would take medium duty use. I do like the half serrated edges, although this is not as aggressive as some other serrated edges I've seen. That detente, by the way, is an interesting little bit of engineering. If you take a look inside the knife with it open, you'll see that there's a, what would you call it, a ball bearing or something inside the knife here that you can see kind of on the inside edge. Right there in the middle of your screen, you'll see that glaring or shining a little brightly into that light. As you close the knife, you'll notice that there is a indentation in the blade. There you can see that. That is precisely the same size, and that locks into place as the knife closes, and that's what keeps it from opening so easily. Decent pillared construction. They have skeletonized the frame a little bit. It seems to be made out of steel. I can't find online information that tells me exactly what the material is for the frame, but it is made so that you can take it apart, put it back together with a Torx bit. The clip is in a decent position, and it does seem to be the same shape of a clip as Kershaw uses on their knives also. So what's the deal with this mystery? Well, I finally ended up calling Kershaw customer service, and I never could get to the right person. Finally, I got to somebody who could say what's going on with this. It turns out that this is actually a Kershaw knife. It is made especially for Big Five Sporting Goods, which is a sporting goods chain that has stores in the southwestern and Pacific Northwest U.S. So if you're out of that area, you're not going to see it in a local sporting goods store. They made it just for them. They would not tell me whether it is a discontinued model or a current model. I imagine, since I see this in the Big Five ads every once in a while, that it's just going to keep showing up. When I see them in the stores and they're not on sale, they're about $18, $20 to $22 or so. I've seen people selling them on eBay for up to $24. Do not pay that price. When they go on special at Big Five, they're somewhere around $10 to $12, and that's exactly how much I paid for that. I think that's a pretty good deal for a knife of this general quality. It's got decent jimping on the upper part of the frame. Actually, this is much more aggressive jimping than a lot of more expensive knives, and that surprised me quite a bit. I would prefer to have some sort of jimping on the other side of the frame here, but being that you do have these cutouts for your fingers to fit into, you can still get a good purchase on the knife without too much trouble at all. So, mystery solved. This is actually a Kershaw knife. The Kershaw Beacon model 2430 ST. A good value when you can find it at Big Five Sporting Goods. If you don't have a Big Five Sporting Goods near you, well, call a friend out in California or something and have them pick one up for you. Zombie Tactics out today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.